Hello and welcome back to ADK Aquatics, and today we are doing a spotlight on Bristlenose Plecos. But before we get into the video, I have a special announcement to make. As some of you might already know, I am doing a Christmas merch sale on Teespring, and I'll be putting a card into the video where I explain that in more detail. But now back to your regularly scheduled species spotlight. Bristlenose Plecos are a staple to the aquarium hobby, as I'm sure most of you know. They are commonly sold as algae eater fish and are sold to help with algae problems in fish tanks. Because when people go to fish stores and they have algae in their tank, they'll ask the store employees, "I have algae in my tank, I need a fish, I need one of those algae eater fish to address this problem." But so the store employees just give them a Bristlenose Pleco to help with their algae, but we'll address their algae eating habits later in the video. First off, Bristlenose Plecos can be found in the wild in South America in the Amazon River basin. In the wild, they live in fast-flowing rivers and hide under rocks and wood. But they don't need that biotope to be replicated in the aquarium, as they can be kept in aquariums with little flow. Bristlenose Plecos are usually kept as sole specimens in most tanks. This is because they are fine going alone, and that it is even preferred sometimes, as if you keep two males together, they might fight. The only reason people keep them in groups is if they want to colony breed them and sell them for profit. As for the water parameters that Bristlenose Plecos like, they need tropical temperatures of 73 to around 82 degrees Fahrenheit and can survive in a wide range of pH from as low as 5.8 to as high as 7.8. As for the minimum tank size, that's a bit of a controversial topic. Some people say that 20 gallons is the minimum, others say 25, and others still say 30. These fish can get fairly large at 6 inches maximum, but with 5 inches being more common. That being said, like other fish, they don't use most of the water column, as they just stay at the bottom or on the glass. That being said, I say that the minimum tank size for these fish is a 20 gallon, with a 20 gallon long being better than a 20 gallon high. They do have a very large bioload though, which requires many water changes to keep in check, especially if you are keeping it in a smaller tank. Feeding Bristlenose Plecos isn't a controversial topic as much as it is a topic in which people aren't educated enough. Many people think that you can just put these fish in your tank and they will just eat leftover food and algae and don't need to be fed their own food specifically. This is not true. Bristlenose Plecos, in fact, have massive appetites and can't just live on algae. They need to be fed their own food, be it algae wafers, bottom feeder pellets, or something else. But like I've said before, they cannot just live on algae. Speaking of their algae eating habits, Bristlenose Plecos are commonly sold as algae eater fish, like I said earlier in the video. But this does not mean they eat all algae and they can solve any algae problem. In fact, there are many different types of algae that can grow in your aquariums, such as blue-green algae, hair algae, blackbeard algae, green spot algae, brown diatom algae, and many more. And Bristlenose Plecos will only eat a few of these types of algae. So chances are, if you get a Pleco for your algae problem, they won't even eat the type of algae that you have. That is why, if you are getting a Pleco just for the sole purpose of keeping your tank clean and eating algae, you should probably not do that, as they probably won't even eat the algae that is in your tank and will create a massive bioload. But if you are getting a Bristlenose Pleco because you think they look cool and you want to feature one in your tank, then feel free to go get one if you have the proper means of housing one. Also, if you are getting a Bristlenose Pleco, you should get some driftwood too, as many Plecos, and Bristlenose Plecos included, like to rasp on wood and even eat some. Well, Bristlenose Plecos don't need wood in their diet like some Plecos do, for example the vampire Pleco. They do appreciate it in their tank, and I would definitely suggest getting one. Getting a piece of driftwood, that is. Bristlenose Plecos are a very peaceful fish that can be kept in a community setting. However, they may fight with other bottom-dwelling species as they grow older. For example, my Bristlenose Pleco, Samson, who is passed away now, used to fight with my Synodontis lucipinus catfish over hiding caves. But when I gave him his own cave, he seemed to calm down more. So all in all, Bristlenose Plecos are a great fish for your tanks. Now you can watch some footage of Raphael, my other juvenile super red Bristlenose Pleco, and I'll see you in the next one.